The United States government is specifically designed to incorporate a system of checks and balances between the executive branch, Congress, and Supreme Court. Currently, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is turning her back on that very notion by refusing to open an impeachment inquiry to hold Donald Trump accountable for various acts that Republicans certainly would not tolerate had a Democrat been elected into office. While the right wing would jump at the chance to open investigations and attempt to impeach a sitting Democratic president, Pelosi displays a stubborn unwillingness to do the same. This has frustrated many on the left, including myself. What really put me over the top, though, was Pelosi's dismissive attitude toward rape allegations against the president. At this point, dozens of women have accused Trump of sexual assault, with many of the allegations making news even before the 2016 election. Think about that for 1 second. Not one, not two, but at least 19 women have accused Trump of sexual misconduct, and we've witnessed the exact same outcome following each and every one of these revelations. Regardless of how serious the allegations are, the press forgets within a week, and Congress does nothing. The latest woman to accuse Trump of misconduct is a longtime writer and advice columnist, E. Jean Carroll, who shared details of how Trump allegedly raped her 2 decades ago in a department store dressing room.
It was against my will, 100%, and I ran away, out.
And he pinned you, I mean, just without getting overly graphic, he pinned you against the wall.
He held his shoulder against me.
He put his shoulder against you.
And he is, you're right, you made that point.
He's much bigger than you are. I mean, not just tall, I mean, in terms of his massiveness. And so he pinned you against the wall, he ripped off your tights, and—
Not all the way off, just down.
Down. He pulled down his pants.
No, just unzipped.
He unzipped his pants, and this is beyond sexual. I mean, legally, he raped you.
I don't use the word. I have difficulty with the word. I see it as a fight.
Yes.
I don't,
I understand, but you see it as a fight, and you don't want to be seen as a victim, and I totally get that.
Don't want to be seen as a victim because I quickly went past it. It was a very, very brief episode of my life, very brief.
While it's inevitable for average Americans to debate whether they believe Carroll's accusations, it's not our job to investigate or adjudicate these insanely serious matters. The government's core role, its one unquestionable duty, is to keep the country and its citizens safe. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is failing to do just that. Recently, the House Speaker was asked what she planned to do in response to the allegations. And her reaction to Carroll takes things over the top.
We're so immersed in what's happening in Iran, what's happening at our border. There's so many policy issues that we have responsibility for, including keeping our elections safe today, as well as protecting the children to the best of our ability. I haven't spent any time on that, and I just am not. I don't know the people you're referencing. I don't know the person making the accusation. I just am not. I haven't paid that much attention to it.
Oh, she hasn't spent any time looking into rape allegations made against our president? She hasn't paid any attention to it? How serious does misconduct have to be for Pelosi to remember that Congress is supposed to check the executive branch? Will she ever challenge the president in a meaningful way? Apparently, Pelosi doesn't even know what Congress should do when the president is accused of sexual assault and rape by dozens of women.
I don't know what Congress's role would be in this, but in any of these things, this is about not what Congress would do. This is about what the president's own party would do. You really have to ask them. But I'm busy worrying about children not being in their mother's arms because of policies that we may have.
This is amazing. Pelosi claims she's concerned about the children who have been separated from their parents at the border. Does she mean the ones who are held hostage by the Trump administration? The minors who are living in their own feces? The ones who are neglected, sexually abused, physically ill, and psychologically damaged thanks to Trump's cruelty and despicable inaction in Congress? What has Pelosi and the majority of Democrats in Congress done to help those kids? I know Pelosi tried to throw money at the issue, But that isn't nearly enough. Democrats like Pelosi love to bring up how terrible Trump is, and they're right about how bad he is. Yet, they do nothing to mitigate it. While talking about how dangerous or criminal he is helps her with fundraising or getting Democratic members of Congress reelected, it certainly doesn't seem to stop Trump from doing what he's doing. Through Pelosi's actions or lack thereof, Trump is learning that he is essentially above the law. What's even more frustrating is that Pelosi thinks Republicans need to deal with it. Does she really think the same Republicans who confirmed Brett Kavanaugh into the Supreme Court are going to investigate rape allegations against Trump? Would they ever hold him accountable for anything? Which brings me to the obvious question that gets asked when the topic of impeachment comes up. Yes, I know Republicans control the Senate. Yes, I know they're unlikely to convict Trump and oust him out of office if Pelosi opens an impeachment inquiry. But if Pelosi is so concerned about the political ramifications of opening an impeachment inquiry, I would argue that it's time for people on the left to make her worry about the political ramifications of not doing so. I mean, look, we're talking about a president who made illegal hush money payments to adult film stars prior to the election. We're talking about a president who obstructed justice, used his charitable foundation to enrich himself and pay off legal settlements, and possibly sexually assaulted and raped several women. When you have that much to work with, how can anyone tasked with being a leader cower the way Nancy Pelosi has? A leader leads. A leader doesn't wait for something to become politically popular before they act. A leader recognizes and does the right thing and persuades those who disagree to work with her. We need Democratic leadership in Congress that forces right-wing lawmakers to bend to their will. Pelosi just doesn't have it in her. Oh, you know you want to see more videos like this. Just subscribe to the channel below. And don't forget to become a TYT member and download the TYT Plus app on your phone. Head over to tyt.com/join today.